Coming on. Mary. Welcome, welcome. All right, so we're going to start this presentation with my dear friend, Kristen Cooper. Shoot, girl.
Hi, everyone. Thanks for joining us. We know that this topic can be a little bit heavy because it's new to a lot of us. Terahertz science and frequencies were discovered in the 1980s. So, it's an emerging technology, and I am really passionate about it. So a little bit about what we're going to do today. As you are logging on and getting comfortable, I know there's probably some questions that you have. Feel free to type them in at any time. I'm also going to ask that you stay muted until the end, just so that way we can really focus on the presentation. But this is casual, so feel free. We're going to go over a little bit of the benefits. We're going to go over our personal testimonials, and we're going to go over a little bit about how you can get one of these in your home if you want to. So let me talk a little bit real quickly about my why. I think it's really important that I share that with you, and Cheryl and Renee will do the same. So a little bit about me, if you don't know much about me, I've been in holistic healing for about 12 years. I would say I've been teaching. Every year I learn a new modality and get a new certificate. Right now, this year it's going to be in mushrooms and learning how to apply that to psychedelic experiences for neuroplasticity and reducing trauma. So I'm an avid learner. Why am I an avid learner? Well, as someone that has several autoimmune diseases and was told I could possibly be not working by 30, my doctors were literally telling me to stop working. They wanted me to go on comp. They said I was doing too much. They didn't know what was wrong with me. It was a really scary feeling. I was a single mom, working full time, building a nonprofit, teaching other people holistic modalities, and trying to raise my daughter. And going to college too. Yeah, I had a lot going on. So I was not going to give up. So the reason why I am so passionate about things like this is that you have to create your own wellness routine. You have to have an hour a day that's just for you. And you don't tell me that you're too busy because you're looking at the girl that just told you everything that I did, and I still am always going. When you get a taste of how it feels to be empowered, you're not so easy to let it go. So my why for utilizing this is that I've been an energy healer for many, many moons, and I've had the privilege of teaching thousands, Reiki and other different types of energy healing. This I've only been using for about 2 weeks. So I want to be very honest with you. I'm honest as the day isn't long. I'm still a novice. There's a lot that I'm trying to learn because I'm a nerd and I have to know all the science. But the long and short of it is I feel like because I'm an energy healer, I focus on my chakras and my meridians, and any of us can always help you with that. I know Renee definitely and I are really aligned with energy healing and our chakras and be able to help you. We will be teaching classes about the spiritual experiences of utilizing this as well. So the long and short is that utilizing this, I feel like I have Reiki, massage, and acupuncture every single day at my house. I'm sorry, my dog is a little pain in the butt. But the long and short of it is that this has been a huge, for my skin. I have hyperpigmentation on the side of my face. Just one of the issues with my autoimmune. I'm starting to see it, like I've tried everything, you guys. I'm starting to see it dissipate. The other thing that I've noticed is that my little spider veins on the bottom of my feet are starting to go away. That's the vanity stuff, right? And I'm not going to lie to you, I'm probably most excited about that. But other than that, the feeling of being centered. I've had some interesting spiritual experiences, and because not everyone is maybe aligned with that, I'll keep that separate. I feel like when I use this, I am so much more centered, and I feel grateful. I feel like I'm healing on an energy and meridian level, and it's only been a couple of weeks, so I'm really interested to see what else this takes me. I would say the only side effect I've had is that I go balls to the wall. Excuse me. I always say that I'm like, classy, but I'm not. So I go balls to the wall when I get into a modality. So I did the water, which Cheryl will talk about. And I was doing I was using this like probably longer than I should. And I had some detox symptoms, but to me, that's a great thing. That's showing me that I have parasites. We all do. And then I'm starting to get rid of them. So there's things that you can do by adding like trace minerals to your water and really, going low and slow, which is not easy for me when I'm excited, but I'm really happy to have you all here today. I want to introduce Renee if you don't know her. And if you do, you love her already. Renee is a wealth of knowledge. She really practices what she preaches. She's got a wealth of certificates and education in every single modality that you can, that's out there. So she's going to talk a little bit about her why, and then she's going to go right into the presentation. Remember to post your questions anytime throughout this so we can get to them. And here's Renee.
Thanks so much, Kristen. And hi, I know a lot of you, some I don't. And yes, I have a million little certificates. So I've been working with frequency and energy for, oh my gosh, for probably 30, 40 years. But you know what? I didn't really come out with it. So for those of you that might know me on Facebook or from my exercise classes, which is what I'm kind of out there with, you might have not had any idea that that's really my passion has been energy healing. I've been a Reiki master and reconnective, blah, blah, blah. I don't have to get into all that. The bottom line is I love energy healing. I love doing frequency work because it works. But one of the reasons that I have never really come out and talked that much about it is just because, I don't want to offend people. I don't want to turn people off if they are kind of feeling like, what is this? She's kind of creepy. I'm sorry, I made it about me. Let's just be transparent, Renee. You made it about you, okay? And now it's out in the world. And now this is the future, because guess what? It's not woo-woo. That's the thing that I love. It's no longer in the backyard, sunk under where we're witches and we're trying not to let anybody know, but maybe helping people underground. This is based on quantum physics, and quantum physics has explained what we all have known in the energy field. So everything we're going to be talking about today, well, sometimes it's going to sound a little woo-woo, because you can't see it necessarily. You can feel the blower, you can feel air coming out, but if you're a skeptic, you might go, there's nothing going on here. It's just like a hairdryer. That's where that's not correct. And I just want to say too that if you're still, after we do the presentation, like, terahertz, all you have to do is just go into Google terahertz frequency and see what comes up. Do your own study. Go to PubMed. Yes, PubMed, and do terahertz. And you'll see that Western medicine, they are using it to help with cancer and all kinds of things. So I don't want to get into that right now. You can do your own research, all right, on that. So let me just share with you real quickly how I found it and what I'm getting, how I'm getting from it, and then we'll go right into the presentation. So Cheryl, who's over here to my whatever side she's on, in the blue, there she is. She and I have been dear friends for many years, and we've shared a lot of energy healing along with that. Together. And she had said to me back in April, hey, Renee, I got to tell you about this magic wand. And I was kind of like, I don't know, like, I'm busy over here. I'm doing my exercise, right? And then she kept saying, I'm telling you, take a look at this. I couldn't lift my arm. She'll give her own story, but she had a pain in an arm she was having a hard time with. And I'm telling you, just a couple times I'm lifting, and the results that I'm seeing and everybody's seeing, I'm telling you, you got to take a look at this. So I'm like, well, okay, she's that adamant. I took a look and I was like, oh my God, I'm all in. So I'm like, Kristen, we're all in, right? So I went and got mine. And I also had to really be careful, because I do the same thing. If a little's good, more is better. I have over 64 years had to learn, no. And so I did start slowly drinking the water, just doing the basic protocol, which you guys can get. And that was hard for me. And then I have continued to increase as my body's been just fine. I haven't really had too much negative or detox effect. And there's nothing negative that can happen. I'm just letting you know, it's 100% safe. So when you happen to see somebody going, oh, I got a rash, or I got the runs, or something like that, our Western mind tends to think, oh, it's hurting me. I'm having these negative responses. There's something wrong with it. But that's just not the case. The case is that all it's not doing anything but giving us this beautiful frequency and allowing the body to heal. And if we've got bacteria and viruses and heavy metal and all this stuff in our body, you know, we cannot have optimal health. That is a huge stressor on the body. So as we start to open the energy passages with this and allow the body to start to balance, sometimes those things happen. And we have perfect protocols to help you minimize that and or if you go slow enough, not even have it. So don't worry about that. It's all very short and temporary. What have I noticed? Well, number one, I'm not sick. I've had an autoimmune, but that's been pretty much cleared up. I do get skin issues. My skin is feeling really nice, really soft. I just talked about my hair. If you guys weren't on, I'm not losing my hair. That's just amazing, but I'm using it as a hair dryer. That's fabulous. I have poor circulation on my lower legs, especially on my left. I don't have good brain to body connection down there and I have bad circulation. I get very dry, hard skin on the bottom, especially at my left foot, and my toes turn dark and purple. So even though I work out all the time, doesn't matter, that's my genetics. I'm telling you, the skin on the bottom of that foot has completely softened. I didn't expect that, but that's what's happening. I no longer have, my toes are purple. And how many of you can even just go like this if you have a thing on, how many of you tend to get like restless legs at night or leg cramps? Okay, well, if so, I'm here to tell you, yes, you're going to use the water and you can put minerals in bags, and Cheryl will talk about that. That's what I've been doing. No more leg cramps, no more leg cramps at night. Number two, sleep. Well, you know, listen, you get a little older. It's hard to get like really good deep sleep where you're not up 5, 6, 7, 8, or 9 times a night, right? So I would always fall back to sleep, but it's that constant up and down. I swear to you, since I've been doing this, I sleep like a log. And that took me by surprise. I didn't expect that. And it's now 7:30 at night. You can tell. I have not had a nap. I haven't done anything. I've just been drinking the water and doing my thing. And I've got great energy. Usually 4 or 5 o'clock, I need a nap or a meditation. I'm going and I'm cruising. I love that. I have no aches and pains. That's gone. So I'm already seeing things. And here's the thing, even if you're healthy, you guys, really pay attention, because what I'm finding is I'm getting benefits where I wasn't expecting, like I didn't get it for those benefits. So you have to really keep tuning in, because you might find benefits that you weren't even thinking about. That's why you got the wand, okay? If you could choose to get the wand. All right, so I'm gonna share my screen, you guys. I'm gonna go through this pretty quickly. I know you'll be like, oh, thank God, Renee, do it quickly. Here we go. So here we go, we're gonna buzz through this. So, oh yes, don't we all love Albert? So brilliant. The future medicine will be the medicine of frequencies. Albert Einstein knew this way back then. Here is what has been said. One of the top 10 most advanced technologies to change the world in health, science, military, agriculture, and communication is terahertz frequency. So again, it's not just with this. This company has just been able to figure out how to get the terahertz frequency in a device to allow all of us to use it to help ourselves. The giant Japanese authority called terahertz light, the light of life. How beautiful is that? What the heck is it? Well, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on here, but here is just a wave, different wavelengths of frequency. Terahertz is between like 30 UMs and 3000. It goes between microwaves and infrared. Okay, it's the same frequency as normal human cells. That's what's so powerful about it. It resonates at the same frequency. This is a combination of, terahertz is a combination of both Chinese medicine. So you're going to hear us talk a lot about energy and meridians and things you might not necessarily be as familiar with, and Western cytology technology. Cytology is the study of cells. So this is cellular technology. We're talking about how this frequency works with our cells. We're going to talk about the 5 quick principles of the terahertz. And by the way, it's been said that an hour of therapy with this is 10 times the benefits of acupuncture, 20 times cupping, 30 times gua sha and 40 times massage. And I'm working with some acupuncturists that are like, wow, wow, wow. I don't know that I'll ever need to use needles again. Why? So pretty powerful. Let's go through some of them. Safety. Again, this device is certified, it's patented, it's got all the safety certifications and patents. We know that it is 100% safe. There is no, by the way, EMF that is put out on this one. It's totally non-iodizing. You can use it on babies, on the elderly, etc. Penetration. That frequency can penetrate into the skin 20 to 30 centimeters. That's far into the body. It reaches into the bone marrow, into the micro blood vessels and capillaries. So why am I getting great circulation in my lower legs? That's what it's working. It's enhancing microcirculation and eliminating water retention. Identification. What does that mean? Well, it strengthens healthy cells, repairs any cells that are damaged, and they use interesting words with this. They call it liquefying unhealthy cells. So when you looked at that scale, viruses, bacteria have a different frequency. The terahertz frequency actually takes those and liquefies the bad cells and allows them to be eliminated through the body. How cool is that? It unblocks passages in the vessels and also helps with detoxification. That's the identification. Activation. It regulates our body's temperature. It improves the body's immunity system. And don't we all need that right now? And activating any weak and inactive cells. So again, cytology, it's working on the cellular level. It's super user-friendly, so easy to operate. I mean, how hard is it? You turn it on and you blow, essentially. Yes, we have some protocols. Yes, you can do it different ways, but basically we like to say, keep it simple, turn it on and blow on you. You can see it can be used on babies, the elderly. You can do it on yourself, which is so lovely. So just different ways of doing it. All right, I'm going to now quickly go through the 8 steps. These are the 8 things that this wand will help you with. The first one is, as I mentioned, it's going to eliminate the unhealthy cells, okay? It's going to activate inert cells. We do have these inert cells that are living in our bodies that could be activated. Have you ever heard of stem cells? So stem cell therapy is super huge now. They do stem cell therapy into knees to help regenerate knee cartilage, et cetera, et cetera. Well, guess what? We have our own latent stem cells deep in our bone marrow. You start to do that, especially on the spine with some heat, and those latent stem cells start to come out to help regenerate different things that are needed in the body. It increases self-healing, same thing. It's the same frequency as our normal cells. It also has been shown to induce and strengthen the DNA, organic molecules. So it really helps the self-repairing body. Remembering again, just saying, it's not doing the healing, it's just giving the frequency to allow the body to heal. It unblocks meridians. All those parts up the fascia lines, our fascia lines in our body are also all of the meridians. So it goes in and it unblocks all those places that are blocked. In Chinese medicine, they believe that the cause of dis-ease is where we have energy blockages. What do we do with acupuncture? They put needles in to allow that to unblock those energy frequencies and allow the body then to heal itself. That's what this does. It stimulates those acupuncture points. It also purifies our blood and increases the metabolism rate. Yes, it does. All right. Improves microcirculation. We've talked about it. I know it's definitely helped me. It helps to dilate blood vessels. Think about how that is cardiovascularly, but really vascularly and through all of our arteries. Reduces blood flow resistance and viscosity and improves microcirculation. I do want to mention this. Reduces the blood flow resistance and viscosity, meaning when we have thick blood and you don't get as good blood flow. Pay attention if you happen to have or on blood thinners. You want to be a little careful, okay? Because that's what a blood thinner does. That's why doctors will put you on that. This will do it too. So you don't want to overdo it if that's a situation. Doesn't mean you can't. You just want to be very careful. All right, regulating glands. It does regulate the endocrine glands and protects our organs. How many of us have any kind of thyroid issues, all kinds of glandular issues? This will absolutely help regulate. removing water retention. So, and I know Cheryl's going to go into water a little bit later, but it clears unhealthy body moisture. So our body's made up of at least 70% moisture. And you know, when you get swelling in the feet, when we get edema, and think about this, whenever people have high blood pressure, what do the doctors do? They say, oh, get off all salt. We've got to make sure, and they might put you on a diuretic. Why? To get rid of that excess water retention. That is one of the things that this terahertz will also do for you, and it helps to balance the immune system in that way. Circulation, again, now the blood is moving, the water is moving, our lymphatic system is moving, it's cleansing blood impurities, cleansing the inner body, promoting blood circulation, removing clots, possibly, softening blood vessels and lumps, possibly. I know here we have to be a little careful. We're not promising. We're just sharing that that's something that there's possibilities with this terahertz. All right, who is it suitable for? All right, let's take a look. What is this really great for? Any itis, which is inflammation. And you know what? Systemic inflammation is the cause of just about all, or at least involved in just about all chronic illness. So rhinitis, pharyngitis, gastritis, gynecological inflammation, prostatitis. They've had lots and lots of beautiful testimonials on helping with the prostate. So for your husbands or brothers or sons or whoever. Various pains, shoulder and neck pain. If you've been in any of the groups, you see just amazing pain relief. Typically, I'm not allowed to use the word pain. Cross that off. Discomfort. It will help with any discomfort. Dysmenorrhea really helps. Sciatica can really help with all that, headaches. Various blockages, meridian blockages, lymphatic blockage. We know that that's part of the body's lymphatic system. When we get static lymph, everything blocks up. This definitely helps with that. I've noticed that's helped with me. How do I know? Because I have specific lymph nodes in my groin that sometimes get big. Have you guys ever noticed you might have a lump in your pit, a lump in here, maybe a lump in the groin, and my lumps are all gone, which I was like, rock on, that's a good thing. Varicose veins, we've had some great testimonials with that. Weight loss. Now, when we say weight loss, why? Because you're balancing the body, you're getting rid of the excess edema. The lymphatic system is moving. I got to tell you, I don't know if it's for this or what. I haven't really changed a whole lot, but I dropped about 3 pounds and my belly went flat.
Me too. I was just gonna say that. My belly, I've been doing it on. I'm always bloated because of my Crohn's. Yeah.
You too. Yes, I've been that was an unexpected joy. And yes, I definitely work on my belly as well. So I'm kind of like, all right, I'm excited. I can't promise it, girls. I can't promise. And I'm not saying this is the only way to lose weight, but just pay attention. Insomnia, yes, it's helped. I have seen some people when they blew at night, because a lot of times it's nice because it can relax you. For some people, it might energize you. So if you find that when you blow at night, you can't sleep, then do your blow, give yourself the job in the morning, and that will give you the energy. All right. And then hopefully you'll still get that deep sleep. So just pay attention to that. We're all different with this. Diabetes, you work on the pancreas, high blood pressure, and various skin conditions. It is fabulous for skin, acne, blemishes, anti-aging, various skin conditions. All right. Kristen was just talking about how she had some modulation here and it's going away. Amazing. I'm going to show you some additional things here. So we're just going to go through really quickly, just some picture testimonials. I'll go quickly. Look at this poor gentleman. So you can see after he did it 20 days of therapy, he lost that bloat as well. Who knows what else was going on there. This was vasculitis, and this was 5 times. You can see how well it's healed. Psoriasis. Psoriasis is another skin condition that's very, very common, very hard to get rid of. This is after 7 days, after 9 days, and look at that, 22 days. So we're not saying that you're going to do it in the first 5 minutes. Everything that you've ever had a problem with is going to go away. A lot of things take time, but the more you do it and you just stay consistent and you use it and you drink the water, over time, you cannot help but help the body heal. Thyroid nodules, how about that? I don't know if you guys can really see this, but it's very, very large here. 10 times she doesn't have that thyroid nodule anymore. And you can see it. Again, psoriasis after 10 therapies. This was a burn. You can see how nasty this one is. I don't know how many times, but you can see that would be another wonderful use for it. Phlebitis, look at what it looked like after all this. It was terrible at first, and only 20 times it got so much better. Bell's palsy is another thing that can happen with the nerves in the face. And it's so awful when somebody gets that. And just a week of therapy, his face is back. And the same thing with this woman, 8 days of therapy, and she is back to her normal sense. Let's look at pigmentation again. Pigmentation here, here, and then after 7 times, just 7 times. So if the person continues, hopefully no more. Now, we kind of laughed at this one because I'm not sure what I'm seeing. I can tell that it's like half a face, half a face. Here she was before, and you can see some bags under the eyes, and then here she is not. So we just thought we'd throw that one in. Same thing, wrinkles. We found this one to be kind of funny. She's looking up, there's her wrinkles, and now there's not a lot of wrinkles. So we definitely know it helps with wrinkling, again, over time. All right, in this one, we weren't sure if we were going to put in because it's a little scary looking here when they took the picture, but he had suffered for more than 8 years with really red eyes. And how bizarre is that, right? Who knows why? After the 3rd day of treatment, they're so much better. And now after 5 days, he doesn't have red eyes anymore. So you just, with no heat, you just blow shutting your eyes on there. And I've noticed, another thing that I also noticed is I had some floaters. If any of you guys know what that is, it's little pieces that you can kind of see. They're in your field of vision and you blink and they kind of go different places. They're so annoying. I don't have floaters. I just noticed that the other day. Varicose veins, and this is just after 1 treatment. I don't know if you guys can see well how it's raised here and not as much. Again, there's some really good varicose vein pictures in some of our groups. And this gentleman had arthritis in his joints and hands, had to use a walking stick. After 1 treatment, his pain disappeared. He was able to walk without the use of a walking stick. This gentleman had severe back pain for years. After 1 treatment, significantly reduced. Again, I'm not saying that's going to happen to everybody, but the nice thing is that the possibility is there, okay? Use it, blow it, and drink the water. Who is it not recommended for? We don't recommend it for pregnant women, and not during menstruation. Now, this is interesting with menstruation. Why? Because it does enhance blood flow. So again, interesting in the groups. So I've seen one person say, oh, don't blow when you're doing menstruation. I bled for like 2 extra weeks. Okay. Somebody else said, my God, it was the easiest period I ever had. I did it and it was great. So again, the recommendation is for not, and that's the reason. But if you want to try it, you can have your own testimonial about that. Acute diseases, no, something acute, you go to your doctor. That's not what this is for. People with congenital heart diseases, got to be very careful with that. No, you don't want to be doing that. Objects implanted, you don't want to blow directly over anything that's implanted in your body, including anything in here. So if you have any teeth implants, even metal, even cavities filled, etc., that's metal in there, you don't want to do it over it. Does that mean you can't use the blower? No, you blow around. Okay, you can blow around. Stents, if anybody has a heart stent, blow around. And we also can use, that's why the basic protocol is hands, feet, you can do ears, lymphatics, etc. You're still going to get the area, even if you're not blowing right over it. Open wounds and fractures, they do not recommend it. I forgot that. I actually cut myself on my arm pretty severely. It was really bleeding. I completely forgot that you shouldn't do it over a wound. So I started doing it, and I got to tell you, it is healing up like a banshee, but they don't recommend it. So be careful with that, not for fractures. All right. So just a few other little things. This manufacturer is continuously focusing and upgrading. This is actually the 4th generation. It is based on a 3-in-1 core technology. So within the blower, you actually have 3 technologies. The terahertz frequency, which is what we always talk about. The second one is called quantum technology, where it's actually putting out something called scalar energy, which is a healing energy. And it's got optical quartz technology. So we don't have to understand it all. We just know that that it works. Has passed very strict inspection by the National Authority for its safety and efficiency and effectiveness. Numerous proven test results and reports from the Chinese Academy of Sciences for its physical therapy effectiveness. And, you know, we've heard some people, I've seen some people go, oh, well, do you trust it? It's from China. And I'm sorry, but I did have to kind of laugh because it's like there are brilliant scientists in China and brilliant humanitarians. Just because they're not in the United States does not mean that they are not brilliant. And they have decided that they were going to take the terahertz frequency technology and run with it and see how they could use it. So absolutely, I am happy that they have some of the top-notch science and technology academies. It is quality assurance of 1-year warranty against manufacturer's defect. And I think that is it for me on the presentation. Yes, so I'm going to go ahead, stop the share. Thanks for letting me go through that. And now I'm going to turn it over to Cheryl. Cheryl's going to talk about the water.
Okay, thanks, Renee. Can you all hear me? You can hear me? Okay. Welcome. Awesome job, Renee. You really explained it so well. I could never explain like you can. I found this device from a person I didn't know on a site, a natural health site that I follow very religiously. And I'm like, very interesting. I got to look into this. So I watched the presentation, and I'm not science orientated. I'm not body orientated. I am device orientated. I see something I love and I just know it resonates with me, and I knew I had to have it. My husband rolled his eyes. I said, you know, listen, I've spent $350 on hair products, supplements, everything else. And so I'm just going to buy it. You know, I'm going to try it and see what happens. I got it. And of course, I too go balls to the wall. And I had some detox, a headache. I had a lot of fatigue. I did too much. But when I started drinking the water, I'm like, dang, something feels different in my body. I feel nourished. I feel like it's getting into my cells. It's getting into where it needs to go. I wasn't going to the bathroom as much, urinating. And I'm like, that's strange because I always pee. And I wasn't like, the vitamin C wasn't coming out yellow and the B vitamins weren't coming out yellow. And I'm like, okay. So I'm like, all right, I'm onto this. So like you said, I sent it off to you and I said, Renee, you got to look at this because like you said, we've been friends since 19, and so I trust you and we've been in several things together. And I don't really like MLMs or affiliate things, but I'm like, you just got to look at this. And I said, you know what, just look at it. I don't know what I'm going to do with this, but I feel good. And I had met Kristen at a sisterhood group here in Sarasota, and we became immediate friends. We were very much connected on an energy and frequency level. And I said, okay, you got to try this. And she came over, and I knew right away she was all about the science. I said, I don't care about the science. I feel good. You do the research and tell me what you find, and I will believe whatever you say. So I really feel that this water has become, even just using the water and not even on the body, is so beneficial because the water we have is thick like our blood. And so when you charge it, it just like the blood, it gets thinner. It moves around. So your cells are able to embrace it better. I had a mild stroke in 2013. So that's my backstory. I'm always looking for something with circulation. And when I saw that was about the microcirculation, I knew how important it was. I have another device that I use, but I thought in conjunction with this, it's going to be a great tool. My varicose veins are not going away as quickly as I'd like, but I know they will. But I feel better and they look better. And so I'm not having my bowel movement. It's just so great. I mean, I just could drink the water and be happy, and I recommend just really looking at it and see if it resonates with you.
Thanks, Cheryl. So I'm just going to mention a couple other little things. And Kristen, if you want to join me on this about the water, what's actually happening when we blow it into the water is it's taking the water, and the water molecules typically are kind of very chaotic. And And when you blow into the terahertz, they get into what's called a much more linear fashion, and they get very small. So the water is actually able to penetrate deeply into our cells. They can get into the cells. That's the difference. So now I'm going to tell you, I think 99.9999% of all of us are dehydrated. Even when you drink. How many of you guys, first thing in the morning, like you go, you get your big glass of water and you drink it down, and 3 seconds later, you're peeing it all right out, right? And why? Because it's not actually getting into our cells. A little maybe, but not much. And we're not able to really absorb a lot of the nutrients. Why is it that when we take nutrients, we pee it out, and you can see it's bright yellow? Isn't that what we always say? When you pee and it's clear, then you know that you are hydrated. Well, that's pretty hard to do. Wait till you drink this water. You drink the water, just like Cheryl said, I am not peeing nearly as much. And when I do, it is clear. And I'm taking my supplements and also getting the benefits of now what I'm taking. I don't have to take as much because it's not peeing out. It's going right into the cells. You can also get maybe freshly juiced, your veggies, your fruit, like really nice if you do celery juice, which is a great source of freshly squeezed celery juice, maybe even add it to some of the terahertz, and just blow into the celery juice and take it. Oh my gosh, this immediate absorption of all the minerals and everything right in vegetables. So it is fabulous. So if you guys will just allow me, I'm going to share my screen one more time. I'm going to show us just one more video. This video that I'm going to show, I'm going to talk as I'm sharing my screen. Hopefully I'll be able to get it really quickly without doing a lot of mess to get there. Let me take this off. Oh, come. Hold, you guys, sorry. You know what? I'm not going to bother doing it right now, but this is what I will say. We will put that video up in our group, and that way you can look at it at your convenience. It's less than a minute or two. So, I mean, it's very, very short. But what it shows is somebody did the dark field analysis, blood analysis, where you take a little drop of blood, you put it on a microscope, and you look to see how the blood is moving around. Okay, so in this one person, it was thick. There's a lot of chaos in there. There's not a lot of, you can just see it's clumpy. It doesn't really look like it's very healthy. Then they blew on the water for about a minute. By the way, they did it in plastic. You want to do it in glass. They drank it, and within, I think, 10 minutes, then they looked at it again, and now you can see this beautiful, no clumping. The blood looks beautiful, and that's just from drinking the water a little bit, and in 10 minutes, you've got clear blood. If that doesn't convince you something's going on, that's such a great visual. So we'll just put that up there in case you have a question. All right, so you guys, who has questions? I'm going to stop all that. And let's just see if anybody, and if you do, just unmute yourself and come out and talk. We'll kind of look through this.
Renee, someone asked earlier on, they said, if I was only to do this 5 minutes a day, what would you suggest would be the 5-minute protocol for starting? Was
Okay.
the question, I believe.
I'll answer mine, and if you guys have it different, you please feel free. So number one, I would first just I would first of all, terahertz the water. So you're going to do the water right then. That's great. We'll show you. I'm going to just real quickly go down. This is what we've done. I got a huge container like this. It's glass. You can see that. I have a little spout at the bottom. You can get them probably at like Walmart and make sure it's glass though. It's got to be glass. So I fill this first thing in the morning, and I set up set my wand up a little bit and really secure, and I just blow. I let it blow on there for 5 minutes. So that's all you have to do. You go walk away. You don't have time. You walk away, blow the water, and use your water for everything. I use it for water. I use it for tea, for coffee. So that's number one. Somebody says they have a blow dryer stand. Some people like to do that, and it's up and over. Beautiful. I could never figure out how to keep it up. So I just like it on the side. Do how you will. That's number one. Number two, I would start with the bottoms of your feet. You just go bottoms of feet. You go, I like to circle on one side and right here on your foot and on your hand, that you can stay a little bit of more time there. Why do we do it? You do it on both feet. then do it on both hands. If that's all you have time for, awesome. Why there? Because these are your endpoints of the meridians, okay? You're getting, this is reflexology. You know, people go and get reflexology. That's reflexology without using the massage, without using needles. So that's what I would do there. Still have time, then I would start working on the lymphatics. We want everything to move. Still have time, then I would go into my groin. I like to go behind the knee. That's another place where there's lots of lymph nodes. Up in the neck, a little bit in the neck, and in the pit. That would be my 5 minutes. You guys have any other suggestions? And then if you have a place that you know you're in pain, like maybe you have frozen shoulder or whatever, then I would go to that. But if you only have 5, you can do that in 5 and go off onto your day.
I think that's an awesome explanation. We have a couple more questions coming in. Katie, my little friend from Buffalo, I miss you. She has chronic pancreatitis from her pancreas bursting and only has about 20% of her pancreas left. She's a little worried about if this would be negative, is her question. So I think, Katie, you know, we can't give any medical advice. And the thing is, you're going to go to your doctor and your doctor's not going to be aware. Same thing like when we were talking about essential oils and all the other stuff, it's not that they're, we're not anti-doctors by any means. It's just they go to school for a certain specific skill set. They don't learn this other side. So what I would tell you, and the other ladies can chime in too, is I would probably, you know, if you're going to do this, if it's me, if you're asking me, this is me, but I rolled the dice with things. I would, yes, I would. I mean, you're giving yourself a chance to eradicate those cells that are not working anymore, and you know, and get new ones that are healthy, low and slow, and then just paying attention to your body. So I mean, it would be something where it really is 5 minutes and that's it, for, you know, the first week or so, and just really paying attention. Renee, Cheryl, do you have anything else to add to that question?
I do. What I would say, and exactly what you said, we can't give medical advice. The question, would it affect it negatively? So when we just think about this for a second, what negative effect could you get from sending a healthy frequency, the same frequency as healthy cells, into your body? In what way could that negatively affect the pancreas? So I can't think of any. That doesn't mean, but I'm just saying, again, all we're doing is giving the body what it needs to heal itself. When you're also going up and down the spine with a little bit of heat, if you choose to do that, you're also allowing the body to release its own stem cells. Stem cells, what they might do is go to the area in the body that needs some help and replace unhealthy cells. So I'll just leave it at that, but that's a great question, and I can understand why there'd be some fear around it. Tony asked if there's a period of time the water stays charged in a container that size. So what we've been told is it should stay charged for about 24 hours. And that's what they've told us from the studies done in China and Malaysia. And they have the machine that can actually test it. So what I do is I typically don't finish mine, and then I add more water, and then I just keep charging it. Now, if you know anything about homeopathy, what you know is when you have a little that still has it and you add more diluted, it actually gets even stronger. By the way, also, if you boil it, like I use it for my tea, I'll use it for coffee, it does not lose the charge. So you don't want to worry about that. The other thing is that in Chinese medicine, and what we know Western, but Chinese medicine, they're very clear to not drink ice cold water. Anything ice cold stops the body's digestion. The body has to stop and kind of heat it back up. It's a shock to the body. So they always recommend either room temperature or warm water when you're drinking this or anything else. So just thought I'd mention that just from a health standpoint.
There's a couple more questions coming in. Might this help post herpetic nerve pain and numbness from shingles 1.5 years ago?
We can't give medical advice, but can't see how it would negatively affect it. Could it help? Try it and let us know. I would love to hear your testimonial.
I think a lot of people get nervous because you get it. We all have different ways. I think Renee, Cheryl, and I are all through, because we've been in this holistic mindset for so long. once we, it makes more sense to us, because we have a little background in it. I can appreciate with some of you that this is completely new. You're like, oh my God, what am I going to do with this thing? So it couldn't be any easier. Literally point it where your intuition tells you and blow. I overdid it the first week because I'm balls to the wall. I want to use this. I want to see what happens. And I was still fine. I just had some stomach discomfort. And honestly, I was excited about it because that means I'm getting rid of what no longer serves me, literally. So the thing that I can tell you is there's 3 different settings. And even if I put this on, oh, hold on one second. You can see how strong that is. I just wanted to show you for a second. You can see that light is penetrating. It's hot. If you have it on the 3rd setting, my boyfriend has multiple sclerosis, and I would never say we're not here to treat, diagnose, heal, whatnot. But him and I are natural skeptics with things. It's really important to do a lot of research. So with him, he was like, the water, just drinking the water, both of us were like, wow, I feel significant energy already. I have chronic fatigue, and so does he. I have mitochondria disease. I go to one of the best specialists in the world for mitochondria disease. He wants me to take like 120 vitamins a day. He calls it my medicine. So if I can give you my personal testimonial, is that I've noticed Cheryl mentioned that she's cut down on her supplements. For some reason, that my healthy food and my supplements are now, I'm way down and my energy is way up. That alone for me. So, you're all going to have your own. I'm such an open person where I can really feel things on a energy level. So for me, it was like, wow, you might have we're all going to have, I guess the body is different. We all have different things that we're working on. So I would say take your overthinking hat off. Do your research, please, because I doubt everything we say. Do your own research. But then once you get this, and if you make a commitment to it, take your overthinking hat off, and then just use your intuition, use your heart and your head, and it's going to tell you what to do. And you will keep adjusting. And we're here. You're going to be able to ask us questions, but some of it are going to be vague because we're going to tell you what we're doing. It might work for us. It might not work for you, but we will always try to give you guidance. So I hope that helps, because I know it can be a little daunting when you first get it in the, comes in the mail, you're excited. But drinking the water, for me, I can't drink more than 1 glass of water a day. I'm way too sensitive. It actually made me feel very hyper. Yeah. So, and then I see other people that are drinking a lot. So, but for me, but just to know that gives me more energy than my morning coffee. So now I drink my water in the morning and I start my day.
Beautiful. Wow, that's cool. Debbie asked how long on each area. So Deb, here's what I want to tell you. When you get it, any of us, we'll send you, I know I do too, send you what's called a blowing guide. And then the fun, a blowing guide. And it's actually came from China, from the company. They did a beautiful job. And they give very specific, like, here's the basic protocol, which is a little bit of what I talk, tells you exactly how long and where. And then if you're dealing with specific things, then you can go and they'll show you exactly how long and what to do. And if you start to experience some detox, they tell you exactly what to do. So it's a beautiful guide with specifics. I know some of us love specifics. Others of us just want to, as Kristen said, just feel and experience. Whichever kind of person that you are, how you prefer to do these kinds of things, it won't matter. But what I want you to know is, honestly, you can't do it wrong. You can't do it wrong, okay? Maybe you can overdo it a little bit, but you can't do it wrong. Even if you overdo it, you drink the water a couple of days, you're fine. Nothing, you can't hurt yourself. I listened to a very interesting naturopath who did an interview, and I typically send this also to my new people. And he had a whole different protocol. And that's the thing, you're going to learn new things so you can try, make it fun. This gentleman was very much into the energy healing and chakras. And he said, this is all I do with my patients. And I've been getting amazing results. He just does the root chakra, which is the very bottom. Okay, so think the bottom of your spine. He puts it on the root chakra for people for 10 minutes and the crown chakra for 10 minutes. That's it. He claims that's all you need to do, and just about, and he says, every one of my patients, if you don't do the wand, you're out of here. Because I've never had results.
I agree with
quite
that.
like that. The only thing to be careful is
Balance
if you
is
have
good.
high blood pressure, you don't want to put it right up on the crown. That is a contraindication. But so again, you know, we play and you see how that makes you feel. Root chakra, crown chakra, done. So you can keep it very simple.
Carolyn just asked,
answer.
is this infrared light therapy, or how is this different? I have sauna space as well. It's just a completely different frequency than your red light, Carolyn. I don't know if you have anything else to add to that, Renee, too.
Those are fabulous, great for detox, great for heating the body, great for so many things. This is as well, but it is just as she said, this is a terahertz frequency and it's not an infrared frequency. So they're just on different places of the spectrum, healing in different ways, beautifully synergistic.
I use both. I do have sauna space, Carolyn, on my, and I use the one on my, because that's good for mitochondria as well. But what's interesting is that the red light is supposed to be so good for your skin, and it is. I've seen better results in just a couple of weeks, and because I use red light all the time on my skin with the terahertz. I'll still continue to use my sauna space, but the terahertz I'm fascinated by with my skincare.
Beautiful. Wow, that's very cool. Can I unmute to ask a question? Yes, Sandra, you should be able to. Just you have that if you have a question.
There she is. Hey, Sandra.
Hello, hello. So this is really all fascinating, and thank you for putting this together for us. And I do have a question. We talked a lot about kind of physical benefits of using the wand, but with the energy movement and using and focusing on the chakras, can you talk about some of the emotional benefits? Are there any, you know, you're changing energy and you're moving energy. So would love to hear about that. Like if someone suffers from anxiety or depression or things like that. That's my question.
I'll answer it and I'll give it to Kristen. Absolutely, right? Because it's all locked up. The issue's in your tissue. You heal the tissue. There you have it. And how that would show up for you, Sandra, we'd love to know. We'll love to hear about it. It can help with emotion. I will give you one more little testimonial that I just recently had. A week or so ago, my mother, who has Alzheimer's, ended up with a heart attack. We were in the hospital. I slept with her in a couple days in one of those horrible chairs right in the hospital overnight, getting woken up every 3 hours for blood and this and that, right? And I brought my wand, so every day I would wand. I was amazed that I was able to get through that whole thing. I didn't crash. I was very calm inside. It gave me energy and yet the sense of settledness, no anxiety. And I slept, which was amazing, in that ridiculous chair every 2 hours. So yeah, I've had that experience. And of course, we know Chinese medicine right here is the seat of anxiety. So even when you feel that during the day, even you guys, you can tap right here if you don't have your wand around, just to reduce anxiety. So you could certainly put the wand there and see how that happens. So I think that's going to be an incredible area of exploration that we can all take. Thanks for asking that question. Beautiful. Somebody I just saw asked a question, can you use the water for more than drinking? For cooking, absolutely. For coffee, yes, I use it for my coffee. I use it for my tea. You know what else you can do, you guys? And I've been doing this. You have your food before you eat, put it over, wand the food. Wand the food. You're going to up the energy in the food. I wand my salad. I just wanted my apple today. I love that. And I'm just like seeing it, like just the energy come right off it. So you're going to increase the absorption, the nutrients in the food. Wand your plants. I have a plant. It's kind of funny. I have one plant on my kitchen table and I kill everything. I've been able to keep this one plant barely alive. And right where that big glass jug is. So the water, it goes here and then hits basically my plant. And then I feed my plant with the terahertz water. I swear this thing is like going crazy. So yes. And yes, I was going to say, and pets. Pets, they love it. They love the frequency. Yeah. Yes, yes. Any other questions? I look in here.
Pam in here owns a salt cave. And I think it would be, you know, she's a master Reiki healer and aromatherapist and a psychic medium if anybody needs a really good psychic medium. And as far as, Pam, feel free to plug in your information in the chat. But one of the things that Sandra, you know, for those of you that are real like energy healers and whatnot, that to me, this is like Reiki on steroids. I really feel a difference. What I do is my meridians, my main chakra points. I just do clockwise, and be in a quiet room. I lay down. I do my eighth, right, you know, that's over your head. I've been astral traveling like I never have before. I'm a very spiritual person. And some of this might be, you know, I will do a spiritual class for those that are a little more aligned with this, because I know this can seem a little outlandish. I cannot tell you, I've been having, and I think because I always meditate, I do my yoga. This has been such a huge asset in my emotional healing and getting rid of, because it only, like Renee said, our tissues hold our feelings and then it turns physical, right? So, you know, for those of you that have, you know, clients and you're doing something like this, we always help ourselves first. This I see as such a when you're doing Reiki on somebody, and then the fact that they can do this at home, and it's only $350 for them to be able to give themselves treatments every day instead of going to somebody all the time. It's huge. So I think there's so many different ways, but I really love the energy. I feel centered, like Renee said, dealing with something like your mother and being like, wow, I've gone through some pretty couple traumatic things in the last couple of weeks, and I've been able to handle it with a lot more grace, I'm noticing. And I know Rob wanted to mention that he had a testimonial too. Rob, are you on? Thanks guys for hanging out with us. It shows you're interested. I know we're going a little longer. And anybody who wants to get off, you're not rude. It's recorded. Just want to make sure that, you know, you hear any little tidbits.
Well, there was a mention about nerve damage. And I just want to say that I went in to get my blood work, and the nurse accidentally, she missed my vein and hit my nerve. And that I was on the floor. I was screaming. The pain was radiating down from my elbow all the way to my fingers for over a week. I started using this, and within 10 days from the pain going down and the tingling going down, and it minimized. And probably in 2 weeks, I didn't have to worry about moving my hand, and the pain has gone away. So no, did I feel something right away? Yes. Did it kind of come back? Yes, but not as bad as it was the first time. So it got better and better and better. So and I'm one of those that I need to see it. So
That's good though. You should want to, yeah.
Thanks, Rob. Yeah, it's just amazing. When blowing the water, thanks, Danae, can it be through the glass container? Yeah, I do it on the side. So I kind of showed my big glass container. I just set it up on the side. I let it sit there. I kind of put like a big book there just so it's kind of in the middle. And I go away and I let it blow for 3 to 5 minutes. Yeah, so I don't stand here like this. There's no reason to. It will go through the glass. It goes through your clothes. So they recommend that you do it directly on the skin if possible, but it does go through clothes. And so like in clinics, they don't have people take their clothes off. They'll do it just right over the clothes. So it can penetrate right straight through there into about 30 centimeters. So no problem there. How long can you run the machine for? Can I use it for 30 minutes or an hour at a time? Yes. Now, if you're using it on the high heat, if it gets too hot, it will automatically turn itself off. And then once it cools down, you can start it again. So if that happens, don't freak out about it. It doesn't want to burn itself out. So it has an auto shut off. They don't recommend doing it for more than an hour at a time. There's pretty specific time recommendations in the blowing guide, but absolutely you can do that. Yes. You want to make sure that it's not too close to the water, right? Exactly, that can happen too. We don't want anybody getting shocked. Good stuff, you guys. Any other questions? that I'm seeing.
I entered a form in there because I had a couple of people. Leslie will connect with you, Renee. She said that she has a few more questions or whatnot and wants to know, I think probably how to purchase. We are, so I put in a form, and I will also put this in the our private group that you probably saw, the terahertz late frequency group. If you're not in that, we can get you information. But I just added a link for everybody. Did I? No,
Just like the schedule.
I was gonna say that's not the link. I'm gonna add a link. Oop. Am I still on?
Yep, you're on.
Oh, okay. Sorry. I'm like, apparently I'm having an off day. But anyway, we have a form where you can schedule a one-on-one, and we can give you a call at your convenience, and obviously whoever invited you to the group will do a one-on-one. So we will make sure, we know that this is kind of a large overview. We want to make sure that we can still answer your questions.
Yeah, thanks. There was a question, could it be used on eyes who had cataract surgery? As long as there's no implants. If you had anything for implants, then you don't want to do it on your eyes. So not sure, with the cataracts, what was happening there, but if you had anything implanted, then the answer is no for that. And we also just want to thank you guys so much. We're going to be doing this every Monday at 7. So today I did more of a presentation, but then for those of you that are getting it and have questions and testimonials, we want to, have that available as well. So if you get it and you're like, I'm not sure what to do, come on, that's what this is going to be for. And of course, you can always reach out to any of us and also ask to be in our group. And that's what we're going to be talking about, more of this, just to give you some of that information. So anybody else real quick, give you a chance to come out? No? All right. Well, I'm going to stop the recording then. And we'll have it also posted.